How do people suffer? How are vulnerable communities that are already exposed to so many risks, how does it affect them, especially during a season such as the monsoon season here?
So, Meshal, what's really interesting, and Umair has really given you a great picture of what the problem is at hand, but what strikes me is the fact that when we say that Mumbai, being one of the richest cities, still is susceptible to the devastation that is caused by these floods, the fact of the matter is that climate change is no longer the elitist issue that it has been touted as. When we talk about natural disasters now, you cannot sort of disassociate that from what climate change has done. And climate change is now, because of the devastation that it has caused, essentially a human rights issue. And failing to mitigate it or failing to adapt to it is a supreme violation of human rights. Your right to life is compromised, which is, unfortunately, as I said before, it's a death sentence for these communities that haven't done anything. They haven't done the crime. And yet they're the ones who are the most targeted by it. They're the ones who are the most vulnerable to it. You have communities in Pakistan. It's this perverse situation where you have flooding in one part of the country. And on the other hand, you have such severe water shortages that you're seeing the beginning of the first climate refugees in Pakistan.
Right.
Just 2 weeks ago, farmers were marching from the Indus Basin to talk about how they don't have water to sow their fields anymore. When all of that is done, you don't have access to food, you don't have access to water. In Pakistan and in parts of northern India, you don't have access to breathable air. If none of that is considered a human rights issue, then climate change is going to be the death of all of us before we even know it. And the richest will only be able to buy time, but they're going to come for it as well.